The term Luddite has come to mean someone who rejects technology. The historical Luddites were a group of English textile workers in the early 19th century who protested against the introduction of mechanized looms and knitting frames. They were not opposed to technology per se, but rather to the idea that mechanization would threaten their livelihood and the skills they had spent years acquiring. Despite the modern connotation of the term, the original Luddites were not inept at using technology, and many of them were highly skilled machine operators in the textile industry. Technology of various kinds has been my bread and butter, so to speak, since I started work here in the USA some 40 years ago. I've worked with both analog and digital dictation systems, and of course computers, for most of that time. So I have used and embraced technology over the years, and I still retain something of my youthful curiosity even today. And yet, I think I may be a bit of a Luddite. Oh, I have a smartphone and a laptop and listen to streaming music and all that stuff, but I feel myself shrinking back from some of the technologies that we deal with every day in the first world. Maybe I have read too many dystopian novels, or maybe I've just lived long enough to see what even ostensibly good people can do when they get more power than they can handle. Whatever it is, I do tend to be cautious about those areas that get my spider senses tingling. 3 areas that spring to mind for me immediately are privacy, genetic engineering, artificial intelligence. I don't suppose those will come as much of a surprise to anyone, but let me expand a little on each. Privacy. You don't have any. I'm not being hyperbolic, and I'm unrepentant about saying so, but not anymore, at least in modern Western society. We have become the product due to the available technology. There's apparently a lot of money to be made in trading personal information, and I don't see how that particular genie can be put back in the bottle at this stage, even if the EU will put up a bit of a fight at times. So let's just shrug our shoulders and put that one aside. Genetic engineering. Proponents of these amazing technologies will cite improved treatments for diseases and the ability to produce healthier, more hardy crops and so on. All true and all admirable. And we are just at the beginning of finding out what's possible in this field. However, they decline to expand upon ethical and moral problems, or unexpected environmental impact, or safety concerns in general. Anyone remember the pandemic that just happened? While there is no single global body overseeing genetic engineering, various national and international organizations and regulatory frameworks are in place to at least try and regulate and govern its different aspects. As with my next topic, it would only take one really bad error or oversight to potentially wreak havoc with these kinds of technologies. Which brings us to artificial intelligence. This is the one that's getting all the attention right now, and perhaps rightly so. We are trying to poke and prod the current crop of chatbots and AI-powered software into something approaching artificial general intelligence, or AGI. A machine that can truly learn and have a similar intelligence level to a quote-unquote median human, as OpenAI CEO Sam Altman likes to say. Suddenly, it seems like we have just realized, dystopian novels notwithstanding, that if machines can learn, they might also be able to learn much faster than us. And then what? Will they stop listening to us or obeying us? I know we tend to joke about Skynet when this comes up, but think of the disruption that could happen to our quote-unquote civilized society if things like electricity, communication, and water services were suddenly interrupted for an extended period. Human history has shown how quickly normal people can revert back to horrific behaviors under the right conditions. Look up the 1977 New York blackout for some nightmare fuel. IBM, Meta, and some 50 other entities just formed an AI alliance, which aims to advance open, safe, and responsible AI by creating a governing board and technical oversight committee focused on setting standards, guidelines, and advancing AI projects. Technology can and does bring great benefits, and it can even be an economic engine too. However, if and when we allow our hubris to get the better of our good judgment, it usually results in something bad or unexpected happening. I was brought up and have always lived in a capitalist society, but I can see how the profit motive can sometimes drive people and corporations away from altruism and even from good sense. There is absolutely no doubt, despite the assurances of proponents, that many jobs will be lost or drastically changed through the growing use of artificial intelligence and the companion technology of robotics. We have already started to see it happening now. It would be nice to think that displaced workers would then be free to pursue other things like further education and so on, to better themselves, like in Star Trek's economic utopia. But things don't currently work like that. Maybe the system as a whole needs to be shaken up, but I have no idea how to do that without causing even more strife and disruption for huge numbers of people. Nor do I know what a workable alternative might be, even if we wanted to change, Star Trek notwithstanding. At least let's try and keep our minds and eyes open to the possibility that just because technology will allow us to do something, it doesn't always follow that we should do it. Let's keep a healthy touch of the Luddite alive in us, for all our sakes. Hey, thank you for wasting more time with me. I do have some links below in the video description if you'd like to check them out.